Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the South Jersey Field of Dreams Faces for Autism celebration dinner. Over this evening, you've heard stories from our parents, sponsors, volunteers, and board members that have been involved. Next, it's time to hear from a coach. What's it like coaching 8 weekends a year in the spring, 4 weekends a year in the fall? And it's funny, he just told me the story of how he got involved, and I'll have him tell you the same story. Coach, if there are any Mariners players watching this, you'll recognize a familiar face. Please welcome Absecon City Councilman and Field of Dreams coach, Rich Derose. Rich, thank you for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me. And yes, if there's any Mariners out there, hello and good to see you guys virtually. So yeah, I stumbled upon Field of Dreams. I moved into town and I had heard about the program. I had seen the field, but I had never been involved or actually seen a game. And I was going for a run around Absecon, and I turned the corner and there's yelling and there's excitement and there's all these people there. So I had to check out what was going on. And so I stood in the outfield and I ended up watching the entire game. I lost track of time. So I went home and I looked up Field of Dreams, found the Facebook page and got connected with Chuck. And I'll never forget, I told Chuck, I want to volunteer for a game. I want to see what it's like. I have no experience with children at all. Well, one game volunteer turned into, I haven't missed one in a very, very long time. And I've been coaching the Mariners ever since.
Well, Rich, you've one of your former players. Well, I believe he still plays for you, Ethan Ireland. I had his mom on earlier tonight, and she talked about, just not just you guys as coaches, but the actual volunteers. Once they're there for a game, they could suck. Well, I shouldn't say sucked in, but they love it, and they're constantly coming back.
Mm-hmm. I got to be honest, I have a very crazy and busy schedule, but when it comes to Field of Dreams, it's the one thing that I get excited about, and I can't miss. I have no problem canceling anything else to make sure that I'm at Field of Dreams, because, and I've said this when I've been at conferences and I've talked about Field of Dreams to other folks, selfishly, I genuinely get more out of Field of Dreams than the kids get out of me coaching. It just, I learn so much every time I'm there. I appreciate everything and the parents and the dedication of all the players. So I get so much out of it. So selfishly, I have to keep coaching. I just absolutely love everything about the program and the kids on my team, and I've been coaching them. Some of the kids for years have taught me more about life and more about me than I think I could have ever done. And that's coming from a guy that was in the service. I've done a lot, but Field of Dreams really is at the top of the list for me.
Right. And for anyone watching this and they're hesitating, do I want to do this? Well, Rich told you, Mary Geary told you, it only takes one time, and then you're there for the rest of your life. And the kids that volunteer need to be exposed to it, because a lot of them, they're knee deep in a screen, they're on the phone, they're out with boyfriends, girlfriends, things but they need to be exposed to things like that. So
I can tell you, Jacob, I have never once recommended Field of Dreams and somebody come and volunteer and then not see them again. They always come back.
Yeah, they always come back, and they come back. They just don't come back in one, Rich. They come back in droves.
You're right on that.
Well, we kind of know how you heard about us. Is there in seven so years of coaching, do you have one particular memory, a milestone, anything like that, that will stick with you for the rest of your life? Is there one memory?
So there's a few, I will say, but the one
Go
that
ahead. You can share as many as you want.
so the one that probably stands out the most to me is I had one player that all he wanted to do was hit a home run, and he would get so frustrated. Um, Probably one of the best hitters I've ever had in coaching, but he would get so frustrated because for him it was a home run or nothing. And he and I would practice, and anytime he saw me with a ball, he wanted me to throw it to him so he could practice hitting. And I believe 4 seasons later, still on my team, he hit his first home run over the fence, and I will never forget it because it's the only time I wasn't able to keep it together, and I actually cried a little bit. So that moment will be with me for the rest of my life.
And if it's the right kid, Rich, I think I know exactly who you're talking about, because I think I would have had to be there that day. I was
We'll
probably
have to
there.
talk about it offline. I'll see if you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I've got the right kid in my head. But any other memories like that, or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, it's actually the memories that stick out a lot that I tell a lot of other folks. For me, it's what happens off the field. Um, one of my favorite moments, and it's happened 2 or 3 times over the years, is running into one of my players outside of Field of Dreams. Usually it takes them a minute or two to realize, hey, that's Coach Rich. But once they do, and that connection's there, and that's probably, those are the moments I'll never forget. Is running into my players outside of Field of Dreams, and just talking to them, and they always want to fill me in on life if I haven't seen them since last season. Those are the memories that I will cherish forever, because truly, building relationships, especially having the same players over the years, you get to see them grow, and they see me grow too. So I think the growth part of it, I'll never forget ever.
Yeah, and you need that
Mhm.
growth to be able to go, okay, I can do this. Like, it might have been
Mhm.
scared year one, but now you're becoming an old pro at this now. I mean,
It's seeing the breakthrough, as I call it, as going from, they want nothing to do with batting to then, driving me crazy because all they want to do is bat. They don't even want to go out in the field. So seeing that growth and really coming out of their shell is just so much fun. It's more fun than the game of baseball is seeing them grow into themselves.
yeah, well, Rich, I'm sure you've heard stories like that. Like, like, I've I never interviewed this person because it never thought to trickle in my head, but like, we've heard stories of people that are nonverbal, and all of a sudden they say a word at the field, and the mother's just, what? Like, it, like, to go out, they don't talk at all at home, but like, going there and going in public situations, I guess.
Mhm.
If you could give anyone watching tonight's broadcast any advice as to why they should bring a group out, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that until you see a Field of Dreams game, you have never seen true excitement, dedication, and determination. Um, Seeing somebody round the bases and running as fast as they can, and being so dedicated to being just like all the other kids, is just the most amazing experience somebody can witness. And I tell everyone, you might be a baseball fan, but you're not a baseball fan until you've seen a real grueling Field of Dreams game.
Yeah, a real grueling game. Um, Rich, any final thoughts?
Well, first, thank you for everything that you do for Field of Dreams. And the one thing that my last thought is, I always want to acknowledge and thank the parents that are involved with Field of Dreams. Um, you know, they have so many more responsibilities than me as a coach, and their dedication to their children is something that I look up to. So I always want to thank the parents, because without their dedication, none of this is actually possible. And they're getting their kids to the games and stuff like that. So thank you to everyone that volunteers, and most importantly, thank you to the parents that keep bringing their kids back for more.
Yes, without the parents, without the volunteers. I know I keep reiterating this, but I will reiterate it till the event ends tonight. Thank you, parents. Thank you, volunteers, for all you've done over the last 20 years. Without you, as Rich just said, there's no Field of Dreams. Rich isn't here. I'm not here. Nobody's here. So thank you, parents. Continue to donate your money down the bottom of the screen. There's a lovely donate
Please
button.
do.
Please donate. Tonight, whatever gets raised tonight will be split between Faces for Autism and the South Jersey Field of Dreams. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.